I'm very pleased to be joined here at SB Nation by the one and only, the dashing, the debonair, the internationally famous, set to play James Bond after Daniel Craig is hanging up the bow tie. James Bond's too cool for bow ties these days. It is Jerry Kelly from the Cologuard Classic. Jerry, thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Absolutely, my pleasure. I paid for that intro, by the way.
Not much, so everybody knows. Jerry, he's pretty firm that his limit is his limit. It's great to be with you, Jerry. It's an important week, obviously. Golf is just kind of in the forefront of everyone's minds. In the world of golf, we're coming off the Players, but right now the most important golf is happening in Tucson. Let's start right there. What's it been like? What's the weather? What's the scene? Set the stage for us, please.
It's I keep on calling it the most beautiful, painful tournament that we have. It's beautiful to see, the survivors, the caregivers, the advocates, just come together, have a place that they can talk about their journey, because they just don't get to talk about it. People don't talk about colon cancer enough, which we hit another milestone that it is now the #1 cancer killer in people under 50. So I'm sure everybody listening is like, what? We hear about a whole lot of other cancers besides this one. So that's why it's so important to get this community together, because they think they're forgotten, that their fight is not as important as some of the others. And it is one of the most important, because it is one of the most stoppable cancers if we detect it early. So the painful part of this tournament is that we lose members of this family. We lose some every single year. So early detection, now the age is 45, that is what we are spreading. That is what the ones we have lost have said. And they said to me before they passed, please, just if you talk about me, talk about early detection.
Right.
Because, I don't want anybody else to have to go through what I'm going through. I think I want to switch this kind of idea around, that it's like, when 45 hits, oh, geez, I have to go get tested. No, 45 hits, you get to go get tested. That is the biggest thing that we can impart to somebody, that it's just, hey, this could save my life. I want to do this. I want to be around for my family. So that's what this tournament is about.
I think that's really important and really, life-saving perspective, obviously. I think when you're growing up, you hear the age 45, and to your point, you think like, oh man, there's all these things I start to have to, start doing at this point. But 45 is young. You're to keep things in golf terms, you're still well on the front nine at that point. And if you want to play longer, if you want to keep your to live in the analogy here for a second, your swing and your game, the way things go, then you need to be on top of things. And it's a tragic thing what happens, and I'm sure it is a sobering reminder when you gather every year and see who you've lost and whatnot. But that's why early detection is so important, because the earlier you get at it, the younger you are when you obviously experience what you're experiencing. The more resources, the more time, right? The more things you have, things aren't as fleeting, and you're able to go get tested. You're able to do what you need to do with time on your side, because we all know that when it's not, that's when things get particularly tricky.
Yeah. And these ribbons keep on growing on my hat for the people that we've lost that were very close friends of mine. And, it just, I don't know how to impart to people that there's not that many warning signs. And the warning signs are so slight that you'd think the flu is worse
Right.
than any early warning signs. So it really is that timeline. And if you have a family history, talk to your family. How did Grandpa die? They have anything? It's important to know that, because 10 years before the age that they were diagnosed, you're able to get screened at that age. So if they found out, earlier in life, possibly, because we are getting the 25 to 35, 25 to 45 age group, I'd say, just an explosion of cases, and they don't know why.
Well, and you don't have to know why. And when you care about the why, it will be too late. The important thing is to know, and the important thing is to understand. And that's the awareness that you all are doing such an important job of kind of raising with regards to the tournament, with regards to the week. And that's what people have to understand. These are things we are fortunate to live in a day and age where people generally have the resources to go and to get tested for different things, different ailments. And to your point, it requires some uncomfortable conversations sometimes, but these are things that you devote the time, you invest the time, whether it is these conversations, it is going and getting tested, and it can have long-lasting effects, long-lasting ramifications if you're not careful, which is why, to your point, you have to invest the time now before it's way too late.
This is such an easy one because you can order it from your home. I think I just saw something that Walgreens is picking it up. So it's going to be like going down to the corner to pick up your normal prescription, and I might as well, do a Cologuard. I mean, it is that easy. You don't have to miss 2 days of work and drink a solution. It really is a special product that does some pretty incredible things.
You've obviously interacted with a number of different people for a number of different things over the course of, I don't just say your career, but your life. Where does Cologuard rank there? I mean, the work that's happening here is obviously extremely noble. I can't imagine that there's anyone that jumps to the top of your mind as far as racing to help people in the way that they are.
Well, I mean, just talking with Dan Fouts that I played with last week at the James Hardy, and he saw the hat and he's like, so are you pretty invested in that? And I'm like, I am completely invested.
Yeah, I'm all the way.
This is, it's kind of a passion of mine. And he said, I lost my son, 34 years old, colon cancer. So, I mean, you think about that. I mean, the testing age is 45. He lost his son at 34. So that's the fight that I'm going to continue to fight, which is I want that age lower than 45. That's something that I want. Sometimes I'm not allowed to say those things out loud, but I take the ramifications from the lawyers, and I just keep saying it.
I think though that people's passion when they reach a place in life where they say things that others don't want them to say out loud, that's when it's true passion. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're willing to live beyond the boundaries, that's when we know that you are all the way in to describe your point. What is this week, this tournament? How does it help shine a light on here? Aside from the name being so visible, what can people take away? Because people are going to watch the event, people are going to follow the event, participate in the event and whatnot. What can people draw from this to help combine these two messages? The event being one, obviously, but the message of getting tested being first and foremost.
You're going to see, a lot of shots go into 15 and putts made on 15, and they're going to show the survivors tent and everybody up there having a great time. Walking up that 15th hole on Sunday is pretty incredible because a sea of blue survivors wrap the fairway and walk up with that final group. It is a pretty incredible sight to see. And it is, I get the goosebumps every time it happens, but I wasn't playing during that time. So I was out there with all of them and just listened to them talk and, be out on the grass where we had just finished playing and walking up there, and it's all about their moment. It's really cool. And that's what brings kind of the tournament and the community together. And that just culminates in a beautiful way.
It's very, very evident, Jerry, that you have a passion for helping people and a passion for this particular cause. And I think that what you said at the very beginning here is honestly among the most important things. I recognize that the message here is to get tested in early detection and help obviously save people's lives. But there are survivors, to your point. And there is, I don't want to necessarily label it a stigma, but it's difficult if you're someone who's been through that to have that conversation with someone else, right? You don't just go down, and have dinner, have lunch, and just bump elbows with somebody and reach that point. So I think it is a wonderful thing that people are allowed to feel vulnerable and to express their vulnerabilities with other people who empathize with them, who sympathize with them directly and understand the fight they've been through. Even if it's not them directly, it's their family member, their brother, their sister, their father, their son. I mean, everybody has an unfortunate common denominator here, obviously, but it's one that can help link human being to human being, which is a necessary thing when people are facing fights like this.
Yeah, and some of them, the survivor's guilt thing is
right.
Real. Why me? How did God choose me to be the one that survived? Look at what this person had in life and all their responsibilities, and it was me that was saved. And it's that's a real thing. So you always say, hey, great to see you, another year and another year and another year, and that's what you fight for. You fight for that next year. You try and make sure that type of thought is completely out of their head. You get them present and enjoying themselves right now, and hope that continues for a long time after the tournament as well. And maybe when they start feeling bad again, hey, the tournament comes around again next year. So, we get to consistently do this. And it's a fight for a lot of these people, where they're in that chemo battle, that immunotherapy battle, whatever it may be. And it's also ones who, when they say cancer free, it's still a fight. You're a survivor, and you've got to play your life like a survivor and be as strong as you can. It's pretty cool.
I love that. You have to play your whole life like this, because when you are a survivor, it's not just something that lives in a box. It's your whole life. I love that. Jerry, we're going to put links in the description and in our article that we'll write about this to send people to the proper resources. You've been wonderful. My last thing to end on as light of a note as I can, as a very, very proud Arizona State Sun Devil alum, I'm sorry you have to be in that trash town that is Tucson. I recognize you had a wonderful property, a beautiful place, but I do have to stand up for my school, and so apologies in all the proper ways.
No, I totally get it. I love my Tucson. There's no question, but I do live in Phoenix in the wintertime. So they both have their own charm. It's kind of like the difference between Dallas and Fort Worth. It's very similar in that respect. But yeah, I'm sure there's a good rivalry between these two towns. There's no question about it. Hey, I want to mention one more thing. On the Exact Sciences website, there's a sponsor a survivor. So if you wanted to really get involved and do something really cool, we've got all these people who are paying their life's medical bills, all of their financial fortune. And really to be able to send one person, to this Cologuard Classic and things like that, I think it's a really cool thing. It's called Sponsor a Survivor, and it's just another link you can throw up there.
That's wonderful. And again, a great arm of technology in our modern times where you can help people. If you can't attend the event, you can't do something in person, whatever, you can certainly find a way. We're certainly looking to do that, helping one another out. I think that's cool. The kind of North Star that drives everything you're doing. Jerry, you're a wonderful human being. Thank you for your time. Enjoy the week and enjoy what you can with everyone mingling and whatnot. And God willing, everyone returns for another year in 2027.
Well said. Thank you very much for having me. Really appreciate it.